Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the Voice of Reason. Today, March 5th, 2022, we are continuing our coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. First and foremost, it is now confirmed that the despotic ruler of Eritrea has, in fact, come out in support of the Russian Federation invasion of Ukraine. So, not overly surprising that would in fact occur. We have seen both the rulers of Eritrea and the current warlord in chief located in Addis Ababa, the ruler of the Abiy loyalist formations, none other than Abiy Ahmed himself, could also possibly come out in support or abstain from the current operations taking place inside of the Ukraine. So just a kind of a sidebar to that, it really doesn't mean anything other than you can kind of see where these two rulers are starting to gravitate towards. Again, Eritrea has always been under authoritarian rule, and we are starting to see now as well the former state of Ethiopia under the Prosperity Party, the unitary one-party state under Abiy Ahmed, also feeling that gravitational pull towards authoritarianism. And obviously, as this conflict progressed in the Ethiopian Civil War, we started to see the Abiy loyalists continue to gravitate towards some of these non-Western authoritarian regimes seeking support. Obviously, Turkey, again, somewhat authoritarian, but again, part of NATO, a very, very strange dichotomy in terms of what is happening with Turkey, but they are supporting the regime in Addis Ababa. The United Arab Emirates as well, again, abstained from voting against the invasion of Ukraine, but is all in terms of its support towards Abiy Ahmed. And then obviously the People's Republic of China, a very close ally of both the Russian Federation and very, very close ally of Abiy Ahmed in terms of military equipment and what have you. But in coverage of the ongoing war taking place, specifically on the border of the Afar Tigray region, we continue to see TDF operations across the border into the Afar region. We have heard recent reports of some rather significant setbacks by Afar regional militias that attempted to retake Abala and Berhale further to the north. We understand there has been a number of casualties, upwards to 1,000 reported casualties by some of these Afar regional militias that have attempted to regain its foothold on the border with the Tigray region. And as we know, that TDF security operation continues with the occupation of Abala and to the north as well as Berhale. Furthermore, we continue to see drone strikes by the Abiy loyalist formations. We have recently heard and confirmed a report that drones have hit targets in Shire, a fairly large town in the northwest of the Tigray region that was in fact hit again by drones. It has been hit a number of times in this ongoing conflict. And we think part of the reason that is the buildup of the Tigray Defense forces within the vicinity of western Tigray continues. We think because of some of the political setbacks in terms of both the Eritrean army and the Amhara regional forces not removing themselves from the western Tigray region, we in fact could be on the precipice of a fairly large operation by the Tigray Defense forces in western Tigray. We do know at this point, both in the Afar region and in western Tigray. It would seem the Abiy loyalist formations, those federal forces, are currently not actively supporting both at least the Afar regional militia forces and the Amhara regional militia forces that are operating in western Tigray. It would appear that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, aka the Abiy loyalist formations, really have their hands full in the Oromo sector of operations. Again, the Oromo Liberation Army continues its operations against the Abiy loyalist formations. Again, they continue with their Anaconda strategy in and of itself against the Abiy loyalist formations and even the Amhara region. We have heard, in fact, there has been an issue in getting certain things in the Amhara region because of some of the operations by the Oromo Liberation Army. We have heard that it is difficult to acquire certain building materials in the Amhara region because of the activities of the Oromo Liberation Army and other things as well that are becoming more and more difficult as the Oromo Liberation Army continues its own Anaconda strategy against the Abiy loyalist formations and the Amhara region. We continue to see the Anaconda strategy in full effect by both the Amhara region, the state of Eritrea, the Afar region, and the ENDF in terms of attempting to cut off Tigray from much needed food, medicine, supplies from getting into the Tigray region. But again, that is why we, in all probability, will at some time see a fairly large-scale military operation by the Tigrayan Defense Forces within the vicinity of western Tigray. There continues to be a very large buildup. There continues to be forces of the TDF continuing to trickle into the western Tigray region. We continue to see Amhara regional militia units that are based in western Tigray being cut off and being isolated by these Tigrayan Defense Forces that continue to maneuver their way into eventually launching a fairly large-scale operation into western Tigray. That is the current situation on the ground. Obviously, we'll continue to watch it very closely. We're watching what is happening in western Tigray in terms of if and when the TDF will launch that long-awaited possible offensive, that general offensive into western Tigray to evict those Amhara regional forces and quite possibly evict the Eritrean army in Himora, which is based in Himora and has a command structure in Himora supporting efforts of the occupation of western Tigray. But again, we will continue to monitor and report, watching things very closely in terms of what could happen in western Tigray, and we will certainly have more information as events warrant. Have a good day, everybody.